This is Let's Talk Teens, a parenting podcast sharing tips on raising amazing teenagers. We are both certified life coaches that have worked with teenagers as coaches, mentors, and teachers. We are sharing what we have found to work best when dealing with teens and tough issues.
This is Let's Talk Teens with Abbi and Cheree, episode 58. How busy should you keep your teen?
Oh, Cheree, I feel like this is the $1,000,000 question, right? And we just want this magic answer of like, how busy should my teen be, right? Give me hours, give me minutes, give me number of activities, right? And the sad reality is that this varies for every teen, right? But there are some really, really awesome guidelines that are backed by evidence and science to show, okay, we're too busy. Because I don't know about you, Cheree, but one thing I teach often to parents is that a teen should have a very healthy level of being busy. If a teen is not busy enough, that is when they slip into too much time in their head, too much time to overanalyze things, and honestly, too much time to like worry about a dumb boy or to worry about friends that aren't calling them, right? Like, there's a lot that can be avoided if we keep our teen busy enough. But the majority of clients I've worked with, I've been like, oh, girlfriend, you are too busy.
Absolutely. I'm just, like, I feel like we live in this world where there is this pressure to be all that in every area, and we can
Mhm.
just really push our kids too hard, where it really dysregulates their nervous system, and they don't have time to, restore, rejuvenate, replenish all the things that their body and their brain need. So I think it is such an important balance. And I totally agree. I've seen it on the flip side where teens aren't busy enough and it really spirals them in other unfortunate areas. So it is. So how, Abbi, how do we teach these parents to find that balance?
Well, here's some guidelines. So I feel like the first is kind of our biggest one to be watching as a parent. And that's if your teen regularly sacrifices sleep, family time, or downtime to keep up with their schedule, they are too busy. So the biggest one that I've seen teens will go to first is sleep. Teens put, well, they put zero importance on sleep until it's the weekend, and then they're so bugged when you wake them up to like do chores or actually be a part of your family, right?
For
But
sure.
they wear it as this badge of pride of, oh, I stay up, I get up so early, right? And we really need to dismantle that. But if you notice, okay, my teen is having to stay up till the crack of dawn to study for their AP test, and then they get up early for ballet or piano or fill in the blank, right? Or they've missed multiple family parties because of this activity, then that should be a giant indicator to us that they are too busy and something needs to change.
Definitely. And don't you, have you ever met with a client and they're like, and you can see they're lacking in sleep, they're lacking in just having some downtime. And you try to help them see, okay, something needs to come off your plate or something needs to change. And their mindset is like, no, I have to do all these things. It's like,
Hmm.
and it's so like ingrained in them that they cannot take a break. And that is, I think, even more of an indication that they are too busy, where they can't even let their brain and their body be in that state of rest and digest, or just where that calm meditative state, because they're just go, go, go. And it feels like they have to do everything. I think it's so concerning.
Yes, and I feel like I'm calling myself out here because in our last episode, I shared, oh, I don't struggle with procrastination, right? But I struggle with the opposite of I want to do everything now at once. Important things, right? I'm trying to do great things like be an honor student and get this assignment done, right? But it's too much. And your teen, I don't think they've got the emotional regulation to recognize that at times. And so sitting them down and having that conversation, and guess what? They're going to be so mad at you. They're going to cry at you. They're going to say, like, don't you appreciate all I'm trying to do? And I love all these activities, right? But just helping them take a step back and go, we've got to reevaluate here because you're missing family events, right? And they're going to be so mad and be like, well, this is my life and soccer's everything to me, right? and go, well, I think that's awesome, but there's relationships, right, that we might miss out on, right? So helping them get that bigger picture. But if that's a regular occurrence, that they're sacrificing sleep, family time, or downtime, they're too busy. Now, the second thing to kind of use as your guideline is that experts suggest the two activities rule, that your teen does not have more than two activities that take their time outside of school. Now, I will admit this gets a little messy in that I think having a full schedule of AP classes is one of those activities. Now, your teen, when you talk to them about this or when they're breaking apart, they'll be like, oh, I just do theater after school. But you as a parent need to go, and you're taking four AP classes, and you're learning to drive, and you like to hang out with your friends, right? And helping them realize that yes, it might not be as cut and dry as I'm trying to do violin and dance and have a job, right? But it
Yeah.
might be some of these other things like, well, I'm taking a really heavy school schedule.
And it could also be like one that just to add into that. And I love that, that school schedule. That is a big thing if you're taking a lot of AP classes. But there's so many things that I don't think we consider as our two extra things. But, for someone who's very involved in their religion and their church, and
Hmm.
having those extra activities or responsibilities there, that's another thing. There's just so many things that I think seem like little things to our teen. And it's like, oh, I'm like, this doesn't take much time or this doesn't, but those many little things could be way more than the two big things you're talking about. I really like that rule of like, okay, like let's try not to have more than two added things.
Yeah, and it's just a good guideline, right? Like, I know certain activities require more. Like, theater was my life in high school, and that was a major, major commitment. And as a parent, too, I need to know, hey, when a production is going on, they are going to be every single day. They're going to miss cousin's birthday party, right? But if that's for a month or 2 weeks, or, if I can wrap my head around those things, I'm like, okay, it's a season of life. We're going to be okay. Versus, oh, I go straight from that to then I do this other thing. And then I start a sports team, right? That's when we got to step back and go, okay, teen, we got to pick one passion. What's your favorite, right? And we got to figure a way to balance this out because our youth should feel like they do have the time to adequately do all the things that they're passionate about. And that might mean that we have to become, passionate about less things.
Or just put them on pause I mean, like when you were in, theater and you were in the intensity of like a play going on. I think it's really good to say, and this is just a word that I think would help our teens is, what, I know you want to do this and this, but how about we put those on pause during, this time where you're in play practice every night and you're about ready to
Mhm.
perform, and then we can readdress that. Or like I have a client right now who's in the thick, she's on the high school soccer team, the thick of high school soccer, right? And other
Yeah.
things need to be on pause for her. But it's not saying, oh, you can't do this, or, that's too many things, and we're just totally taking it out of their life. It's like, okay, this is an interest, and maybe we need to just pause this for now instead of taking it
Yes.
off your plate.
When I was thinking, you'd mentioned this, Cheree, and like my calling right now in my ward is young women. So obviously that's like a big thing for me when I see girls skipping young women's night. And it's one thing to be like, oh, they're doing their tournaments of soccer. Like, we're not going to see them this month, right? But as a parent, I feel like that's important of that camaraderie, that friendship, that faith building that happens. So I'm going to sit down with daughter and go, okay, I know the month of November, you're going to miss every single young women's like that there is. But after that, we got to do rededicated focus. Like we got to tell your leaders what's up, but then we also got to like make sure we hit the other activities and getting our teens buy-in and going, yeah, if I'm going to pause something, then I either need to let people know or recommit to it, right? Reevaluate so that I can make sure my priorities are straight. Well, we hope that these guidelines help you out. This is a very tricky road with our youth, and there's going to be different periods of their life, different school years that are busier than others. But let this guide you and have those open conversations with your teen so that they can stay in that nice, healthy realm of being busy enough it benefits their mental health without taking some of those tolls. So, best of luck to you, and we can't wait to see you in our next episode. Thank you for listening to Let's Talk Teens with Cheree Murdock and Abbi Winslow. If you are looking for more tips to help your teenager, here's where you can find us. You can find Cheree Murdock on Instagram at Cheree Murdock Coaching or on her website, ChereeMurdock.com. You can find me, Abbi, on Instagram as Abbi Winslow or on my website, AbbiWinslow.com. Please rate and review our podcast and share with a fellow parent. Thanks for listening.